G'day, Star Wars fans and collectors, and welcome to Red Leader 1. Today I'm going to put this question to collectors out there. If Hasbro announced today that due to money issues or product issues, it could only support one line of figures, and that's either the Black Series or the Vintage Collection 3.75, and it gave collectors the opportunity to vote for which line to continue, what line would you choose Hasbro to continue in the future? So you can only pick one. I know it's a hard decision for most collectors out there, but for myself personally, if we were given an option on a line of figures for Hasbro to continue in the future, it would obviously be the Vintage Collection 3.75. It doesn't have to be necessarily the Vintage Collection, but I mean the 3.75 line of figures. That's what I would choose. Now, I did do a poll on Twitter a few weeks ago. I had about 33 votes, and out of that votes, 88% voted to keep the Vintage Collection 3.75 and have the Black Series discontinued. So it shows there's a lot of support for the Vintage Collection, or not necessarily the Vintage Collection, but the 3.75 figure line. And I'm just interested to see what the take is on other collectors on here on YouTube that deal with collecting both lines of figures. We know there's a lot of guys out there who just solely collect 3.75, and it's the same with the 6-inch line. But then there's collectors who collect both lines, and myself, I collect both. But if we were given an option to what line to keep, 3.75 is all the way for me. Another thing as well, at the moment, if you haven't really noticed, the price of figures from 7.5 to 6-inch increasing at the moment, especially here in Australia. Like Black Series figures are reaching around about $40 to $45 here in Australia, and the vintage 3.75s are around about $25, even reaching $29 at the moment. So that's a big jump in price with figures. Especially the 3.75 figures, probably about 10 years ago, used to cost about $15 here in Australia. So, you know, a $10 jump is it's pretty dear. So, at the moment, I'm going to have to probably make a big decision on collecting. At the moment, I've either got to choose between Black Series or Vintage Collection, because at the moment, the Black Series here in Australia is starting to get way overpriced, and I can just see it going up even more. So yeah, it's it's really sad at the moment, because the Black Series figures that are being released at the moment are really, really good figures. The sculpting and the photo realistic faces and fantastic, but sometimes you got to weigh up the price of things, and the Vintage Collection itself is probably at its best as well. So yeah, I don't know. At the moment, I collect both lines, but there is going to be a point in time where I'm going to have to choose between which line, and I'm going to go towards the Vintage Collection. But as a vintage collector knows, the amount of Vintage Collection figures that are being released by Hasbro at the moment is really, really small, and they tend to favour the Black Series at the moment, and kind of have the Vintage Collection as a second option at the moment, which is frustrating for Vintage Collection or 3.75 collectors. They want to see more of these figures made, but it seems that Hasbro are favouring the Black Series a lot more. But yeah, so in the comment section down below, guys, let me know if Hasbro today announced that they needed to get rid of one of the lines, and it gave the option. It gave the Star Wars collectors, the opportunity to vote which line of figures to keep. Which one would that be? So let me know in the comment section down below. It'd be Be a really interesting topic, actually. I'd be interested to see what you guys would prefer to collect. Vintage collection, 3.75s. At least with that, we could still get the vehicles as well. Black Series, not really. So, all right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Drop a comment down below, hit that like button, share this video, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Make sure you also go over to Star Wars Collectors and YouTube Creators, if I can remember, and be a member of that group and share your videos and your YouTube channel. All right, guys, thank you. May the force be with you always. Bye.